Hey everybody, it's Joseph here with another video. As the iPhone 16 and 16 Pro series are now beginning to ship, as everybody has either pre-ordered it or saw the keynote, I wanted to give my opinions on the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. I pre-ordered it the same way I pre-ordered the iPhone 16 this year. I got it at launch and I've used it for a year, as now I'm getting my iPhone 16 Pro Max. I wanted to give my thoughts on using it for a year as it comes to its last year as being the new flagship iPhone. So I got this last year. I used it immediately out of the box as my main phone. I don't have another phone to test other phones. So I want to talk about what I liked and what I really didn't like about this phone. So I'll start with the design. This was the year of the titanium body. I liked the rounded edges. It made it easier to hold compared to the 14 and 13 and 12 series. Those were a little bit sharp to me, but these were easy to hold, but still kind of holding the same design. It was just easier to hold, lighter to hold because of the titanium, and I enjoyed that a lot. One thing I think it was really bad at was getting rid of heat. I've noticed this phone has overheated a lot for me and has crashed a lot too on me. I really don't understand why it overheats so much. If I was doing something like using the camera for like 2 or 3 minutes, it would just overheat very quickly. If I played a couple minutes of just a game, it would overheat. It just deployed heat very poorly, and I mean, it would get to the point where I had to sit it down because it was burning my hand hot. I know it's also bad for the battery, so I wanted to talk about the battery. This has been the worst iPhone battery I've ever used in my life. Usually I never go below maybe 93 or 92% when it comes to overall battery capacity. I'm a little bit over 300 cycles, I think 302 or 303 cycles, and I'm at 89% capacity. To me, I think that is ridiculous and has no longevity whatsoever. At the rate this was going, in one more year, if I kept this phone, I would have had to get the battery replaced, and that's just crazy because I actually don't use my phone as much as people would think, or at least I don't compared to other people that I know. It's just horrible battery. The battery life is terrible. The capacity is terrible. It gets really hot. It just, for some reason, this has been the worst battery. And I thought the 14 Pro Max was a worse battery, but this actually takes the cake. It is extremely terrible, and I can't believe Apple let this ship. Also, my dad got a 15 Pro Max a couple months ago for his work. Like, they gave it to him, and for some reason, his phone feels lighter, thinner, and when he uses it is way cooler compared to mine. I don't know if there was like a refresh that I just don't know about, but his phone seems a lot lighter and easier to use and thinner than my phone. I don't know why. So let's talk about the software. Obviously this had iOS 17 running, and I also used it for the beta the last couple weeks just to check it out. Software is fine. It's good. I like iOS 17, but I also really like iOS 18. It handles it very good. The chip is very snappy inside. I really have no complaints about that. The camera I thought was also very good. No complaints about that. Takes beautiful videos and pictures, and was just a really joy to use. The only issue was going outside when the brightness went up. It would also overheat. I probably should have just added that in the overheating problem, but this phone just really had an overheating problem and a battery problem, and I really don't understand why. But USB-C was also new. All time, I love that. I love charging other things with it as well. Bringing one cable around, it was just a joy to use. The action button I really didn't use that much. I kind of pinned to video recording when I'm doing YouTube videos. I haven't done it in a while, but when I did do any sort of photo or video, I just held that down. I think it was really cool. I like the UI it has when you change it in the settings, but I really don't find myself using it as much, and I heard a lot of people don't either. This is the second year of the dynamic island. I use it sometimes during calls and music. Other than that, I really don't touch it too much. I'm curious to see how the iPhone 16 Pro Max does with the battery, as it's a little bit bigger than this phone, and that's the one I pre-ordered. I was thinking about getting the smaller one, but I thought, why not go big or go home again? So overall, I'd give this phone about maybe like a C+, a B-. I don't know, it's not really a phone I enjoyed too much over the last couple years. I still think my favorite phone the last couple years is the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The colorways, the battery, the way it performed, it was just fantastic. I think it was better than the 14 and the 15 series. But this is probably my least favorite phone from the last 3 years of generations. I don't know. I thought the titanium would be cool. I like this white color. The action button I thought would be cool. I only use it a couple times, but the overheating and battery is just throwing me away from this phone. Like, I'm very eager to get rid of it and start using the 16 Pro Max, because they say the battery is going to be better on that too, and it's going to give a little bit better performance. So yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts as the iPhone 15 Pro Max comes down to its final week as being Apple's flagship phone. Again, not really my favorite phone, but overall it is solid. I mean, the 14 Pro Max I think is just as good as the 15 Pro Max. Just USB-C I think was really the big difference when it comes to just overall performance, if you even want to call that performance. But the 15 Pro Max was definitely not one of my favorite phones. If anything, it was one of my least favorite. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm going to start trying to do more videos. Life's been chaotic, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.